Hi guys, it's October here, your Tuesday's host for Planet Pathings. Before we start, I would like to apologise if I sound strange this video. I have had a really stinking cold that my lovely son passed on to me because he's been not well as well. So if I sound a bit funny, then that's why. So I just thought I'd throw that in there in case I sound a bit croaky or whatever. So today's... Sorry, drink of tea. Today's topic is coming out of the broom closet. How to talk to friends and family members about your pagan path. So what I thought I would do is, because I've not been feeling too great, when I've had 5 minutes today, I've just been writing a few things down, plus a few other ideas I'd had through the week to share. So what I thought I would do in this video is to share things regarding before you come out of the broom closet, if you're in it, and if you want to or need to keep things in the broom closet, some of the things that you can do to keep creative and feel like you are being able to be yourself, even if, for example, you don't have your own home, you're living with your family or your parents maybe still, or there's people within your household that are maybe a different religion to you or follow a different path to you, and that you kind of have to work together so you're either completely happy with each other's spaces in your family room or your bedroom or whatever, and if you're not, how you incorporate your own sacred spaces or altars or things like that into your home. So here's a few ideas. Sorry if I keep drinking tea, but I'm kind of a bit hoarse. So basically what I've said is that if you can't have an altar or a sacred space within your home that is out in the open, so to speak, and you have to keep it private, there's little things you can do. Now, I did this before I kind of came totally out of the closet, so to speak, because I had a lot of family coming and going, and with having a disabled son, I have a lot of, professional people coming to the house, doctors and specialists and therapists and all this type of thing coming to the house. So at first I kept things very, very low key. My original Morrigan altar was upstairs in my bedroom, but when I came out of the closet, I kind of came full force out of the closet. Not everybody can do that. So if you want to be a bit more private about things, then here's a few ideas. I mean, what I'm actually doing at the moment, and this has come to fruition in the last few days or so, maybe I would say, where there's something I'm working on. It's a sacred space that I've been guided to kind of make not totally secret, as in like nobody can ever look at it or see it, but to keep it quite low key, behind closed doors, so to speak. So I got a thing from it's a free cycle Gumtree, I can't remember now. Anyway, it's a little cabinet that's just like got a little wee door, and it's got a wee handle in the front. So I'm in the process of going to be sanding that back, and then I've got some ideas of what I'm going to be doing with that. I've already ordered a little decal for the front. I'm going to change the handle, and it's going to be totally different. And everything within that, I won't tell you everything I'm going to put in it, but excuse me, everything I put within that little cabinet will be very particular to what its purpose is for. In this case, it'll be very nature based. Everything will be wild gathered or wild harvested. apart from maybe a candle here or there, everything will be wild harvested, wild gathered. So, and I'm out of the broom closet, but that will be, I'm not quite sure yet exactly where in the home it's going to be, but wherever it is, it will just look like a little cabinet to anybody coming in the house. It won't be smack bang obvious of what it is and what's inside it. I may even have a little key to lock it, I don't know yet, I'll see. Anyway, so what I'm saying is that if you're out of the closet or you don't feel that practicing, especially having your own little sacred space, would be welcomed or accepted or whatever, wherever you are, wherever you're living, whoever you're living with, you can do little things like you can, when you go out for a walk, you maybe want to keep in mind a few things that you may want to be looking for, or if you've got anything in mind you want to be doing offerings wise or whatever, keep that in your mind. Or a good book, which I have and I find very, very, very helpful even nowadays, is, you can't really see it, it's the Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs. I'm going to try and get so you can see this. It's because I've got to have this propped up. Anyway, you get the idea. That is what the front cover looks like. Most people have probably seen it, but anyway, it's called Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs, Scott Cunningham. So anyway, basically this is a really good go-to book. It's got all your witchy herbs and, well, not all, but a good lot of like resins and roots and flowers and all the rest of it. It's also got a little go-to index at the back that tells you the herbs and flowers and plants and everything, magical uses. They are whether they're feminine or masculine, they're planetary things, and different things. For example, you know, depending on what you may want to use certain items for, you know, for protection, love magic, you know, prosperity, healing, anything like that. It's a good go-to have, so you can maybe, you know, get this, or if you can't have any witchy books in the house, maybe find little bits online to do with particular herbs that you may want to look up or find their meanings, etc. And then maybe have a little notebook or something. It can just be a plain notebook that won't look suspicious or look inconspicuous, and just jot down little things. And so when, before you go out, you may have it in your handbag, or for the guys out there, pop something in your pocket or whatever, where you can actually go out on your walk and you might be able to say, oh yeah, I need this or I need that or whatever, and then pick those little things up, even just a little freezer bag or something, pick those little things up, you know, and take it back home, and you can keep in a little trinket box or a little jewellery box or something like that, where you kind of make like a little offering dish or something. Now, you know, though I am out of the broom closet, I like to keep my offerings in here, which is a little Celtic trinket box, or whatever you want to call it, that I actually found, believe it or not, in my local charity shop. Try to give you a good picture of this here, but you know, it's funny lighting at night time and everything. But it's a little Celtic trinket box that has a lid in it, on it rather. So all my offerings are inside here. So that's an idea. Also, like not always, depending on money and also depending on what is available in nature, I try to have, you know, flowers or wild plants or whatever on my altar where I can. So again, it's another way. You can maybe have a bedside table, you can maybe have a vase of flowers, you can maybe have some rocks or pebbles or shells, or your little trinket box with little offerings in it. and you know, you could, if you're allowed candles, you could maybe even have a little tea light. If you're not allowed candles, you can get the little what are they called now? The little light up candles. I'll show you. I've got one here, but there's no batteries in this one at the moment, I don't think. Oh no, maybe there is. Hang on. I think this is one I didn't use. Right, this is what it looks like. Obviously, the little battery goes in there. I got these from the pound shop. I think it was in a pack of 4 or 6. There you go. These ones are actually flickering. You get ones that are just plain base, or you get different coloured bases or patterned bases, and they're quite effective if you're having a little tea light holder, or even like I have my recycled jars or whatever, and you can use one of them if you can't use actual tea lights or candles. They're pretty good that way. Excuse me, drink of tea again. So little ideas if you're in the broom closet. Regards coming out of the broom closet, I kind of went full black when I did decide to come out of the broom closet. Most of that was because from a young age I always knew I was different. I had different likes, different interests. I was always drawn to nature, always followed the heartbeat of the earth, so to speak. Even before I knew what witchcraft was, what paganism was, even to some degree what spirituality was, and to a degree what religion was, in all its various aspects. I was very in tune with what was going on around about me. I grew up beside the sea, so I was fortunate in that way, because it meant I could, you know, go beach combing, which I loved, picking up stones and shells, and I actually have some excuse me, stones and shells that I picked up from the beach beside where I grew up as a kid. You know, I would pick little flowers and press them in between books. I remember trying to make my own perfume with, you know, getting wild rose petals and putting them in water, and trying to make my own little perfume and stuff. I remember doing that from a young age. But anytime certain things were discussed when I got a bit older, I always got the feeling of that's pie in the sky, airy fairy stuff. You know, why do you want to believe that? What are you into that for? All them type of things. I won't go into a big long list of things like that. Now how it is my parents know the score, and I just don't do anything magical around them. When my parents are here visiting or anything like that, we've had a bit of an up and down relationship between one thing and another. But when they are over visiting now, I don't do anything magical around them at all. And the only things I do is I'll light my tea lights above my altar, and I will light my tea lights on my altars, my Morgan Sacred Fireplace, and I have my ancestor altar upstairs. And this new one that I'm dealing with right now, working on, I'm not sure where that's going to go, but wherever it is, if it's somewhere downstairs, I probably will, like I said, put a lock and key on it. My Sacred Fireplace, again, and just like the tea lights, don't do anything when they go to the shop, or if any family members here and they go to the shop, or they are, you know, in the bathroom or something like that, then I'll go ahead and do anything I need to do. But 9 times out of 10, if I need to do anything, I will go outside. There's a walk up the road from me, through a forest and down to an old abandoned asylum down there that's got what I call a natural sacred space. So I'll go there, I'll take a little bag with a few things in it. I actually have, it's not even a travelling altar, it's just got a couple of wee bits in it that I have in my bag. Well, one of my particular bags, so if I need to do anything like that, I will basically grab that and go. So basically, I think it's a case of if you do come out of the broom closet, if you feel that your family's going to be more accepting, it might just take them a while to get used to it. Obviously, go slowly, and don't expect them to take everything on board and go, yay, brilliant, you know, because that's probably not going to happen. it'll take time. But if you have people in your family or family members that they'll tolerate it as opposed to accept it, then obviously just be respectful in the fact that don't do particular things around them that's going to exasperate the situation or make them feel uncomfortable, and in turn make you feel uncomfortable. Now, this is my own home, and I don't put anything down my son's throat. My son is autistic, and he has grown up in school life accepting all cultures and races, and he does query certain things, and he has an interest in the moon phases and that's just natural inquisitiveness on his part. Sometimes if I'm doing something on my altar, he'll say, "What's that? What are you doing?" or something like that. But that's really as far as it goes. If he wants to go down any path when he's older, if he so chooses, then that is up to him, and I'll support him whatever he chooses. Basically, regards coming out the broom closet as well, if you live with other people and family members, obviously you would have to discuss what is acceptable for everybody to be within the home. For example, if there's different religions there or different spiritualities there, and if you're in your own home, you know, your other half, your children, if you feel that is something that you want to discuss with them, and just, you know, take it very slowly either way. But for me, it works for me, as in I have my own home. I know how my son is around things, and you know, he's happy and he does his own thing and nothing's rammed down his throat, etc. But like I say, this is my home, and it's up to me what I have physically out, so that everybody coming in walks past, if you know what I mean. So it's if you have any altars as well, for example, some deities and saints and things like that prefer their sacred spaces to be in particular places, in particular areas or whatever, so just bear that in mind, obviously, regards those things. But other than that, if you come out the broom closet, just do what's right for you, and do what's right for your family, and do what's right for your home. So I hope this was somewhat helpful. Sorry if I sound a bit hoarse. I'm just double checking I haven't forgotten anything, because I've written stuff down. Well, I typed stuff down. Oh yeah, that's what I nearly forgot. Hang on, another drink of tea. I lined it with this. Some other ideas you can do that can be inconspicuous, and again, depends how inconspicuous you need to be depending in your own personal home life and situation. So let's just say, for talking's sake, you can't have any deity or any god or goddess or anything that's got any symbology on it that would automatically jump out at other members within your household that you're living in. You know, I have come out of the broom closet a few years back, and I don't have any statues or anything on my altars, but that's through, well, number one, because it's expensive, and number two, I found other ways of doing it. That's not to say I might never ever have anything like that, but right now I'm happy with what I have on my altars. But altars aside here, you may have a deity that you're working with, or being drawn to or called to work with, or or you just have an interest in a particular path, and something jumps out at you imagery wise. Excuse me. For example, with the Morrigan, you could have you know, like a raven or a crow or a wolf or something like that, but you could have it just like a generalised picture, like you get in calendars or something. I keep all my old calendars anyway, and my favourite pictures I'll frame and put them about the place. Free art, you know. But I mean, you can get something like that, something online, or a recycled calendar. For example, you know, like I said, one of those particular animals or birds, and you could take that, you could get an inexpensive frame, you could frame it. You could put some symbols or something on the back. You could do even a room or a home blessing on the back of that picture that you can do even out with the home, or something where it's, you know, you're not going to be made to feel uncomfortable. And then you can hang that up in your room or hang that up in your space within the house. And you know what that represents to you. Like the wolf or the raven or the crow, to you that may represent Morrigan or Hecate, for example, or Hecate. The hounds or the dogs. Even a very artistic picture of a key or something like that, again, would link in with quite a few deities. Certain symbols as well, anything that's not too going to jump out at somebody and say, what's that? So you can use even little pictures you find online of maybe somebody's done a lovely artistic representation of some place that jumps out at you. Like, there's certain places for me that resonate with me for particular things in my path, and when I see a picture or a photograph of those places individually, it takes me to where I need to go spiritually at the time, if you see what I mean. So you can even use photographs, pictures, printed pictures online. Every single picture that's on my Morrigan altars, other than my ancestor altars, are all artistic representations or printed online, or have been digital art that's been done online and then printed off. So the world is your oyster regards things like that, and again, they can be as inconspicuous or as out there as you like. If you're not in the broom closet, then obviously, depending on your home life, if it's not an issue to have a bit more creative and artistic freedom in what you choose to put within your altar, or to have within your home, then obviously that's brilliant. But if you're kind of more boxed in regards, I shouldn't even say that because that's not the right way to explain it, but if you have less creative freedom to have things out on display, then obviously you can do what I am doing with something to do with me, which is to have a little cupboard. I've heard people using wardrobes, old TV units, shelving units, little cupboards where they have a door on it, and some people take the door off and put a little curtain on or whatever. But again, it depends how private you need to be. If something is really private to you and it's like a sacred space or something, you might want to have it where you can lock it over and you've got the key or whatever. If it's a really sacred thing that you don't want people prying into or whatever. But there's lots of things you can do. Seeing if there's anything else here. I'm just looking what I've written. Yeah, and also to make sure, bring a lot of the outdoors indoors, if you know what I mean, because being outside and being alone with nature, a lot of people nowadays don't do so much of. I got a little bit into that way a few years back, that I pulled myself out of it was because I didn't have a lot of time and I was buying a lot of stuff. Now I try and wild harvest as much as possible. Number one, it's more economical. Number two, it's more eco. Number three, you know exactly where the stuff's come from and what it is. But again, just do your homework. Don't go just picking willy-nilly. If you don't know what a thing is, don't pick it. And certainly don't do anything with it regards ingesting it or using it topically or ingesting it or anything like that. If you're not sure what it is, do your homework, guys. 100% do your homework. and that way you'll be good, you know. But you're always going to be learning on this path. As I say to many people, I will be learning in this life and probably on to the next. So I think I've covered everything that I wanted to cover that I can think of. I'm having a total brain fuzz today because, like I say, I'm a bit there with the cold and my throat and all the rest of it. So anyway, I hope this video was okay. So lots of love and blessed be. Any questions or comments, please feel free to put them down in the comments bit below, and I will see you next week. So lots of love and blessed be. Bye.